So, yes, the human body heals itself. This may not be what a lot of people want to hear, but it's what you really need to hear. My brothers and my sisters, all of you out there listening to me right now, I'm sorry. It's difficult for me to apologize, and I don't really know you, and I have never been in your circumstance or situation or that of your loved ones that you may have lost as a result of cancer. But I want to educate you. I want to remind you to understand that just because someone tells us something doesn't mean that it's true. Even myself, whatever I say to you, I want you to go back, follow up behind me, and check the validity of what I'm saying to you. Do yourself that favor if you don't believe anything that I'm saying to you. But what I'm saying to you is so simple, it is so commonsensical that it really is a no-brainer, and it requires you not go and look it up. But if you still, for some reason, cannot wrap your brain around the basis of what I'm saying to you, then by all means go and look it up. And look in several places. And then you come up with the conclusion for yourself. But I want to tell you this. We have an immune system that was equipped with all of us when we were born. What's the purpose of your immune system? To fight against what? As I said before, viruses, bacteria, germs, inflammation, all sorts of diseases, to include the big C, that thing called cancer. Our bodies are equipped to fight against it. But what has happened to us is that the world in which we live is so toxic now that it has caused all of us and our bodies to be compromised, to include, and primarily our immune system is what I'm referring to. Our immune system has been compromised because industries, big corporations, have been selling us poison, and under the guise of something that's supposed to be good for us. For example, they advertise all of these beautiful pictures of hamburgers, hot dogs, these entrees in these restaurants, these steaks and potatoes, and these milkshakes and all of these other products that you see on your television screen every day, or you see on the internet, that you hear on the radio. Every restaurant has a deal, and they're cooking this up, and they're doing it right. But if you look at the American population, if you look at the stats, over 50% of American people are obese. And that's supposed to be eating healthy foods. It's not simply the individual's fault that you see obese, and some people look at them like, look how fat they are. No. It's in the food. And it's in the water. So, if you do a little research behind the scenes, you'll find out that there is a plan to depopulate the planet. I know this sounds like a conspiracy theory, right? But it's not. I want you to answer this question for yourself. Listen to me very, very carefully. Answer this question for yourself. If our water is not 100% pure, why is it not? If we have literally hundreds of chemicals in our drinking water, Why is it there? If our governments and the powers that be and the EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency, and the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, if they cared about the population, why don't they stop these people from putting these chemicals in our drinking water, in our bathing water? Same water that we ingest every single day, even in public facilities. Same water that we wash with every single day. And the food that comes from these food manufacturers that is sprayed with all kinds of pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides, and absorbed into the food that comes to our produce departments in our grocery stores. We are ingesting that. Yes, I know since then they have created what they call an organic only section that doesn't have these chemicals sprayed on it, but they're still selling the other stuff. If you cared about the population, about the people, if you really did, why is that still there at all? Why is it not regulated to a point where it's all organic with no pesticides or any types of chemicals, or glyphosate, which is called Roundup, sprayed on our food? Why is it not just 100% natural? But we have an overseer in the government, right? And all of these organizations that are supposed to be there for our benefit, yet we still have the chemicals there in your canned goods, in your packaged goods, in your boxed goods. Genetically modified organisms, all of these artificial colors and flavors and enhancers and so forth, and the list just goes on. And it's okay? Does your government really care about you is the question you need to be asking. Are you ready? Are you willing to go down the rabbit hole a little bit deeper and find out that they really don't care about us at all? They never have. The 1% cares about the 1%, and the 99% are collateral damage. That's it, and that's all. So my friend that has cancer, she, like many others who currently have cancer, are dealing with a situation that was caused by the industries. And she fell victim, like many of us have, because we don't own these major corporations. We don't sit in some glass tower behind a boardroom door making the decisions about cutting costs and pennies and giving the public population, if you will, all of these chemicals in their food, as opposed to real, organically grown foods. That's meats and vegetation. We don't have that power. So we are the recipients of their greed.